Government has said that the inclusion of smaller companies into the economy needs to happen and needs to happen at a rapid rate. If we take that and we interpret that into the insurance industry, micro insurance needs to grow. There's no debate about that, it needs to grow. I'm talking to Mercia Wallis from Bryte, just to talk about how this is going to work going over borders and what are some of the challenges and opportunities that we are seeing. Mercia, thank you very much for joining us. Can you just talk to us, please, about how microinsurance is happening in the African context and what are some of the challenges and opportunities with regards to cross-border insurance?
So I think in Africa, regarding all the countries, there's a big untapped market. I mean, we've only touched on the tip of the iceberg regarding insurance. I think some of the challenges we face in the market is that there's legislation. I think that is the biggest challenge, is that we've got 55 states. Everyone has got their own regulation, their own legislation. A big factor as well is how do you pay premiums cross-border, tax implications, and how do you resolve a dispute if a dispute arises? Which jurisdiction will be applicable?
So do insurers band together to try and find a collaborative solution to this, or are insurers really fighting this battle by themselves? Does Bryte look at it and say, well, look, let us determine what's happening going forward, or do you guys get in touch with guys like Old Mutual and just from a collaborative point of view?
I think from a Bryte perspective, because there's a huge, another challenge that we face is skills. You know, there's a huge gap in the African market regarding skills. And we focus very much on upskilling our staff to get to the point where we can have innovative ideas for products. I think the bigger picture, however, is that I think InsurTech is going to change the landscape in a very big way, because the problem that we face with the microinsurance is a lot of the people do not have access to the insurers, and the insurers cannot develop a product that they can afford because of our infrastructures and our expenses being so expensive. But mobile phones is the next, I mean, that's the future. If you take it in Africa, there's 80% of Africans who's got a phone, but only a quarter of that has got banking. So how do you pay premiums? How do you deliver the product? There's a case study, well, not a case study, a very successful story in, I think it was Ghana, which launched a product via the mobile app and an InsurTech company, and they pay their premiums via reduced airtime. So this is how they pay their premiums, and I think that is the future. So I don't think the countries are working so much together, but I do think that there's a future for us to go and explore different opportunities.
Maybe let's just end off with InsurTech. You mentioned, or FinTech InsurTech. You mentioned that it's going to be something in the industry. It's going to be a factor in the industry. Final word: opportunity or challenge?
No, I think it's a huge opportunity. I think it's going to change the insurance landscape completely, and us as traditional insurance, we will have to pick up our game and change drastically for the future, because as insurance companies are not going to be claims payers anymore. I think they're going to be more risk mitigators.
Marcia, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.